Forgive the unmade bed. I'm about to be washing these sheets. Um, your boy Mugman finally got the Maximum Series Spidey. So before I start looking at the figure, let's take a look at the packaging. Alright, so yeah, this is definitely some pieces of paper. Remember to get some poster board and paint it white. But yeah, this is our Maximum Series Spider-Man. As you can see, Maximum Series Spider-Man. Marvel Legends. Got some comic book art here in the corner. Not of Spider-Man art, really. It looks like that Speedball. A render of the figure. You can tell it's a render, as everyone's pointed out. The feet don't look like this. I mean, it's a pretty cool render, I guess, but like, still, it is weird. Oh, there's some Spidey, well, possibly Spidey art, because I see some Venom legs, or some Black Suit Spidey legs. Can't be too sure. Legal Snuffle at the bottom. Oh, there's some Spidey art. Okay, there's a Spider-Man eye, another render of the figure, about the same kind of stuff on top. Yeah, I mean, packaging's pretty all right, I guess. Let's go take this guy. Oh, sorry, let's not take this guy apart, but let's go open this and get a look at the figure inside. So there's like a window here. I'm actually glad because, you know, Hasbro's windowless packaging fiasco, and considering this guy was like online pre-order, I got him from this one from Big Bad Toy Store. I got another one coming. I'm glad. Looking at him so far, the paint isn't bad. Aside from on this hand, that looks like a completely different Marvel Legends hand compared to Lee's web lines. So now here we are with just the figure out of the packaging, and gotta say, it's he's pretty alright. I mean, this is better than a lot of what Hasbro can do, but I have seen better in other places. Especially this neck joint, man. This neck joint is pathetic. I'm definitely going to be modifying this guy. But, you know, so far not so bad. Like, I've seen worse butterfly joints. Actually, that's pretty good. Especially for Hasbro, as of late. Yeah. I suppose before I go over the figure in greater detail, let's go talk about some accessories. So as you probably already know by now, it comes with a Peter Parker head, this weird squinty head like Y, a spider sense effect, these different web effects, and different hands. I would say most of these hands should come standard with a Spider-Man figure. Maybe not these. Or if you can unplug the webs from that, then maybe. But, you know, this guy for 50 bucks comes... I mean, if you got, like, all this, maybe an additional head for, like, you know, 25 bucks, that'd be pretty good. I don't know. Is this guy worth the $50? It's a question everyone's asking. It's a question I haven't figured out quite yet. Especially when I buy bootleg figures, because buying the originals is super fucking expensive these days. So technically it comes with like 6 sets of alternate hands, including the fist hands I haven't taken off. You know, we've got web shooting hands for when he needs to shot that web. Wall crawling hands for when he needs to be crawling on that wall. Or possibly
for when he's grabbing that ass.
You know, you can hold your wife's hand. Of course you can hold your wife's hand. And also, I'm saying his wife. Because this is a married Spider-Man. Also, I can't say that this doesn't look like McFarlane's Peter Parker. Like, it does. It has a, like, passing resemblance. Same way with the heads. But, you know, there's things that are off. Like, he's got the slick back hair. It kind of jets out in the back. These, like, hair curls that, like, Peter Parker's had on and off since, like, the fucking 70s or something. But, yeah, something about it just looks wrong. Grabbing hands for when he... grabbing all sorts of web. And then the web actually shooting out hand for when he's... needs to actually be shown shot in that web. And then, of course, we have some flesh tone hands. Yeah, actually, they do look a little large compared to the other hands. Unfortunately, they don't have any articulation aside from the rotation at the peg here, which is irritating. Reloading them web cartridges and can only do it like this because these are the only hands. You're going to be able to see it, but take my word, they got fingernails. They do have fingernails. Oh, cool, he can hold his hand like this if he's having some trouble shooting a web. That's a neat little detail. See, as you saw in that little bit, he does have 2 non-bendy webs, which I can probably make bendy. I got bendy webs downstairs, alright? I'm in my bedroom doing this. I've got webs. They're a little hard to see with the flash. They're very detailed, though. I like the pearlescent white they use. Pretty cool. Not exactly consistent. A web shield, which is great for when you want to reenact Spider-Man Web of Shadows or have him like stand next to Captain America and be like, "Hey Cap, check it out, I got a shield too." A big like stick onto something web, which he can actually hold in his hand, very flimsily. But it is there. Kind of looks like the webs I used to draw because I wanted to do like the spaghetti webs when I was a kid, but you know, it was more like this. It's kind of nostalgic, actually. This looks literally like something I would draw as a kid. A stand for this web shot that people on the internet have used to make it look like Spider-Man coming. Yeah, because as you very well know by now, we're a bunch of mature adults collecting action figures, but, you know, toys. Yeah, really not helping our case with shit like that. He comes with this squinty head, which I like this eye. It looks a bit more McFarlane, because, like, the frames are thicker than over here. But why the squinty eye? Like, why even? I mean, I guess it worked for that, like, little orgasm bit. I mean, I guess it works if he's, like, having a really weird day and he has his head cocked to the side. He's got the Peter Parker head, which I don't mind the flesh tones. I don't mind most of this aside. Like, his eyes look alright to me. The lips are a little... Look at them on camera. Tell me this motherfucker does not look like he's wearing lipstick right now. And the spider sense effect, which for some reason is red instead of, like, fucking yellow or even, like, black. Which I read McFarlane Spidey. In fact, I got, like, a collection of it downstairs. It was always yellow, I swear. Also, I love how this just clips onto the head instead of, like, clips onto the stand, like Mezco. Okay, wrong Spidey. Oh, and this one's black, like in the 60s. I never did review this guy. I really wanted to. Maybe I should do that. I mean, everyone else has. Again, everyone else is reviewing this guy, and here I am reviewing it. Late. Because I finally got mine, because I didn't pre-order mine in a timely fashion, I guess. Funnily enough, this is the second one. This was the one I ordered later, and he came first. Where's my first one? What am I doing with two of them? I need two more. Don't ask. I'll explain later. But, yeah, no, I like how this, like, just clips onto the head instead of on the stand. Also, because that looks so damn cool, going over the figure in some closer details, you can see it's definitely McFarlane inspired. People say the eyes are a little too far apart. I can't necessarily say I disagree with that. But it does look pretty good, like especially from the side here. I think it's an alright representation of a McFarlane Spidey. For my most part, the webs are pretty alright on mine. Like there's some scuffage of paint in some places. And that's, whatever that is, I guess. And that right hand, sorry, no, left hand I mentioned. Like, look at that web. That does not look consistent with, like, the other hand. Kinda, not really, though. Feet look pretty good, you know, aside from this gap. But I don't mind this gap, because I'm going to go drill this out a little bit, put some magnets in the toes, and then maybe put some magnets down here. Guess I'll mess up Hasbro's legal garbage. Whatever. Oh, also, it's a very good representation of the McFarlane logo. Sorry, I had to turn the flash off for that. That looks... darn focus. That looks pretty good. Okay, this is a logo I've drawn in notebooks for years and could never get exactly right. And the back logo, which it had like a black line around it, looks pretty good. That looks gross. Yeah, I think we can afford to cut it off right there and just paint these like everyone else does, because I'm going to modify this guy. Overall body proportions, I think, are pretty nice. I mean, it's nice that I don't have to, like, drill out the shoulders so they can be higher up, because Hasbro always has those droopy shoulders. I like the overall build of this guy. I'm sure someone who studies anatomy, like Anthony's Customs will tell you about where the sculpt kind of fails in terms of anatomy, but it looks alright. It looks pretty good. It's pretty darn good. In fact, I'd say it's very good. But is it great? So remember when everyone was like, this thing's gonna be $50? And I'm like, you know, people pay more for, like, Mafex, and it ain't like you ain't getting about the same amount of accessories, almost. Aside from, you know, they give you a stand. Which, I don't know why Hasbro couldn't just give you, like, a cheap flight stand. Dude, I can buy them for, like, $1 on AliExpress. If I go to Target, they used to have a bunch of, like, Medicom stands there. Like, it would be, like, 4 in a pack or something. Like, Hasbro couldn't throw in, like, a stand. Mezco does that. I want to buy that friendly neighbor, black suit neighbor, you know, that bootleg Revoltech black suit Spider-Man. I want to buy that just for his stand, really. Not the biggest fan of the Revoltech, like, figures. I never really had one. But I want that stand. I want him for my custom black suit, Mezco style Spidey. I want him to have his own stand. But yeah, Hasbro totally like did some good and did some bad here. So going over articulation, the head, well, I guess it rotates down there, but it can also rotate here, but it's really stiff on mine. Well, that's like an old Toy Biz figure, actually. Head can go this far up and this far down without moving the other neck joint. The other neck joint goes not too far up, an okay amount down, a little bit of head pivoting. It rotates, but like it's not like you can really cock his head to the side. With both joints, yeah, that does nothing. Does a lot for looking down though, like it's Spider-Man Web of Shadows. Okay, butterfly joints go back that far, forward that far, so pretty good. All things considered with Hasbro. Full rotation at the shoulder. His arm goes out about this far. Biceps swivel. Double jointed elbows that also work pretty good compared to like the Sunfire ones. That's awesome. Rotation up here because of the peg for this. So yeah, this only rotates with these hands, just so you know. A little nostalgic having forearm rotation on Marvel Legend, but it's kind of like the Red Hulk Wave Spidey. Black Suit Spider-Man, because, you know, he's got rotation down here. Why do we need rotation up here? I know why we have it, but, like, you know, damn. It's a little weird looking. And, you know, rotation down here. Hinges this far up, this far down, at least on these hands. Which could be kind of different depending on the hand. Let me actually grab a right hand, like, for example. Oh. Ooh, I don't want to move that. It feels like that's going to... Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good up and down out of these hands. Which this reminds me of some some John Romita Jr. art, actually. The web grabbing hands in there and hinge up and down on the side there. So from there, the diaphragm joint goes this far forward and this far back, which is anyway, full 360. Go this far to the side. You know, you can bring that around in different places. Capture some different looks. I want to get this back in neutral. Ab crunch goes this far forward. Pretty alright. This far back, yeah, that's alright. Both joints, you can go about that far forward and that far back. He's got drop down hips, which also there is a thigh gap, which I forgot to mention, so that's a little weird. I can fix that though. Thigh rotation, actually, sorry. Kick forward this far, kick back that far, and then with, you know, the drop down hips, you can do some more crazy McFarlane-esque poses, which is exactly what you want out of this figure, considering the look. Thigh rotation, double jointed knees. Boot rotation, you know, shin swole, which is missing on a lot of Spider-Man figures, but it's been coming back, so I can't even yell. Ankle rocker moves that far down, that far up, which isn't great for a Spider-Man, actually. Got Hasbro's Stylin' ankle pivot and a toe joint that goes this far up and not far down at all. Okay. Sorry, excuse the change of scenery. I forgot to do this earlier. Here he is standing next to some, you know, like Sunfire and Retrowave Spideys. We've got my 90s animated series Spidey and my PS4 Spidey. I didn't know his paint was so splotchy. Alright, I didn't do a good job sealing it. So you can see they're around the same height. Maybe he's like slightly shorter than the PS4 Spidey with the, you know, custom heads and all that. Here he is standing next to some teenage Marvel Legends. Damn it. I need to hold him up here. Yeah, he's, you know, he's definitely taller, but it's not by that much. Here he is standing next to 85 Years of Marvel Superior Spider-Man. I think they're about the same height. Yeah, if that, because from right here they look to be about the same. Maybe he's slightly taller, okay? Here he is standing next to some smaller and taller than average Marvel Legends. We've got my Marvel Legends Gambit, don't know what wave, and the 85 years of Marvel Astonishing Wolverine. And for standard female Marvel Legends, here he is standing next to Rogue. He's definitely taller. And I know I have a Venom on this body, but I couldn't find him. So here's Sabretooth and, of course, Monster Venom. And for a little bit of history, here he is standing next to the Toy Biz McFarlane Spidey. He is only slightly taller. And here he is standing next to someone on the Vulcan body. We have my Cyclops, whose visor has fallen out, and I realize has two of the same feet. What the fuck? So he's a little shorter than Scott, which I approve of. Alright, honest opinion, I really like him. He's pretty fun to pose around, do some crazy poses, but it's nothing too different than what we've already seen. Like, the best Hasbro's ever done, but it's not too different from, like, the Renew Your Vows Spidey, for example. I mean, there are people complaining about this being $50, but then we'll drop $100 on a Mafex, which, you know, comparing apples to oranges, like, this isn't the worst thing ever, and, you know, it's a decent value. I would say it would be nice if it was a little cheaper than 50. Like, you know, this for 50 is all right. I mean, I almost think this works better as a $20 expense. Not $20. Like, if the price range is like 20 to 25, this is a $30 to $35 figure with all the accessories. Because realistically, who the fuck wants this? If you gave me all this and like a display stand, like a flight stand, so I can just have him doing some cool ass poses that, you know, kind of don't work with this flimsy web. Actually, why is it so hard for them to give us a bendy wire web? Mezco gives you bendy wire webs. I mean, Mafex doesn't. I've made like a shit ton of them, so maybe expect some photos of him using them, actually, in a little bit at the end of the video. But, like, yeah, dude. Yeah, this figure's, like, pretty good and all, but, like, $50 for this? I understand why people think they were being gypped. And a lot of that, literally a stand would have gone a long way. Or even, like, a reprint of a McFarlane comic book. Remember when Toy Biz used to do that? Could you imagine this? Even if it's, like, a smaller version of it. But, like, you know, there's, like, Spider-Man issue 1. You know, the McFarlane Spider-Man series, like the Torment story. Or any other iconic McFarlane cover. Or even just like a poster. Ooh, yeah, that was a poster. Even a mini poster. That would have been cool. That would have been dope. That would have been dope as hell. But I'm like, man, for what I got, it's like, okay, $50 wasn't the worst price and all, but man. Even I feel a little disappointed, actually. Like, shit. And I really like this figure, don't get me wrong. I really like him. I like this figure. But even I'm feeling an air of a tinge of disappointment with him because of, like, well, the same kind of flaws I find in Hasbro, like some weird paint crap. The thigh gap, which I can fix. I'm like, man, I shouldn't have to fix this on a figure I paid, like, half of, like, $100 for. Overall, if you're thinking about getting this guy, I would recommend it. I would definitely recommend it. Alright, I will be modifying this guy, so stay tuned for that, okay? I'm probably going to give him a new head, and definitely do something about these thighs. I might still modify the shoulders, but I don't know if I really need to, actually. They're pretty good. They're pretty good. In the meantime, guys, y'all have a good one, and keep collecting. And tell them Spider-Man sent you. Who's them? I don't know. Just go to a bar or something and tell them Spider-Man sent you. Just do it. See what happens.